How's it going, everybody? This is Rob of Novakast Studios back with another video for everybody. And man, I haven't done a video like this in quite some time. In fact, yeah, it's been a very, very long while since I've done a responsive video to anything involving anybody. So, this particular video, I'm going to respond to, and it's mostly in defense for a lot of the commentators who have been talking about this particular topic. Because let's face it, with the individual involved, and you guys already know his name, he's been doing a lot of crap. A lot of stuff has been coming up. People have been speaking out against him. And like the hashtag coward he is, he decided to disable likes, dislikes, and start deleting the negative comments criticizing him. So here we go. Oh, and by the way, for those who are not subscribed to the channel Real Stream News, I ask you guys to go subscribe because he's been really supportive in the restoration of this channel. So please subscribe to his channel if you haven't been subscribed. Thank you, and let's get to it. So, as I stated, Onision is the person we're talking about, is in a lot of drama right now, with a lot of people, again, talking about him, or talking out about some of his behaviors or past behaviors, and just the drama and all the crap is just piling up. With the last week, every single one of Onision's videos has been downvoted to hell, and now it just seems like Onision's cracking. He's made 3 videos thus far saying, okay, I admit it, or giving, actual proof to everything, or what's being said, but not really giving us proof, but just talking out of his ass. Okay. So he decided to make a live stream around midnight, and this is what I'm responding to, and I'm going to say this. It's about an hour 30 minutes. I'm going to be cutting out a lot of it. But I want to kind of respond to the big things that I had issues with, because there's a few things that he is, let's say, how should I put this? Has terrible logic in. So, why don't we get started?
Someone said you don't deserve money. Okay. Can you imagine being someone who actually goes to like a stream and just says like something hateful in it?
All right. So, first thing, it's always funny every time Onision can't tell the difference between what's opinion and what's hate. I mean, did you even ask why? I mean, of course not. You don't even ask why they feel that way. Maybe give them a chance to speak, but you only want to hear yourself speak, so yeah.
Do you know Real Stream News? I heard that guy's a rapist, but that's all hearsay. So that, and the girl I talked to said she got a rape kit and everything done. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a rapist, but whatever.
Okay, so if you believe he is, where's your evidence at all? I've spoken with CJ extensively about this. In fact, I've had him on live stream, and we discussed a little bit about it. And if you guys go to his recent video, he shows a bit of evidence about what happened with that one individual. So, again, I ask you guys to go check out his channel to see that clip. It's one of his recent Onision videos. Because so far, that person tried to set him up by the evidence given. So, no, I don't think he is. And it's very hypocritical that you, Onision, you claim that everybody needs evidence when they're talking about you, but you're going to go off hearsay and say, oh, he's a rapist. Yeah, that's real mature and very logical. The most honest YouTuber on YouTube can't tell hearsay from actual truth.
I don't like Realstream. He's just in and out, a really bad person. He's had numerous, like he did a picture of my spouse on the head of someone with saggy boobs, like a cartoon of someone with saggy boobs, and he did that to degrade them or something. It's like,
so, no, that wasn't CJ. That was actually a picture that somebody made as a meme. Because at this point, your antics are a joke. You trying to tell everybody how honest you are is a joke at this point. And people were trying to, make fun of the whole situation. In fact, probably, trying to get on your nerves, which, lo and behold, it did. And it got you talking about it. Kind of like what happened with the Blair White picture. By the way, I find it funny that people, or at least, yourself, you can joke about killing children. You can joke about rape. You can joke and make fun of women and girls who are not to your standards. But people joking about your situation, as well as joking about your spouse, isn't okay. I'm trying to see the logic here right now, and I'm not seeing it.
are you really gay? You made a few videos now. Jake Paul is following me saying he's gay. Okay, so let me explain the gay thing, right? Blair White is in a straight relationship, right? Blair White is with a guy, and she's a girl. So they're straight, right? So if my spouse is a guy and I'm a guy, then that means I'm gay.
So I have a bit of a concern, and before anybody decides to light up some torches and pull up some pitchforks, just understand my stance in this. Yes, Blair White is in a relationship with a man. Blair White, who used to be male, transitioned into a female. So that technically is, in some sense, a straight relationship. Because it's a woman with a man. However, Onision, who's a man, and this is where I know people are gonna disagree with me on this, but just understand where I'm trying to understand is with a person who is right now identifying as a man, but has never or gone through the actual transition to become a man, and is still a woman. So that technically, does that really make you gay, or are you still straight? And are you using the whole gay identity now so you can be offensive towards people and use certain words because you feel you now have that right? Which I'm pretty sure that's the case.
And I know a lot of you guys are transphobic and you don't respect people's pronouns, what they identify, etc. And that's because you're shitty people. But most people, I think, are pretty cool. So you will respect people's pronouns and so forth, and as a result, you look at me and you say, yeah, you're gay. Or bi, at the very least. That's just how it is. Unless you want to say that Blair White isn't in a straight relationship, and then you're just transphobic shit to me. So, it's just how it is.
Or people are just going to go and say, you're not gay because you're still in a relationship with a woman who just identifies as a man. So that technically doesn't make you gay, just makes you a straight male who has sex with a woman who identifies as a man.
What do you see as the future of your channels? Awesome. I think they're all going to be very cool. A lot of people quit. Like Nathan Barnett, he was getting like, 1,000 to 10,000 views per video, and he quit. And then there's What the Buck Show, who also quit, was getting about the same views. And I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, maybe they just. This is what I don't get. Why don't you get a job and still make videos? Like they just quit videos. Like, well, if I'm not going to be making X amount of dollars for videos, I'm done. And it's just like, well, when I started out YouTube, I was doing that shit for free. I never knew you could make videos when I first started making videos. So why the fuck are these guys quitting? Did I just slip up? Did I say something wrong?
Are you really going to play dumb, you fucking hypocrite? I will say this, though. At the very least, those people who didn't think they can do it anymore had the actual dignity to quit when they felt it wasn't profitable. Instead of begging and guilt-tripping and manipulating people, or, in your case, teenagers, on Patreon.
Oh, shit! Burn! Burn!
Yeah, why do you talk about yourself in the third? I want to answer that question. Why do you talk about yourself in the third person? So you know who the fuck I'm talking about. It's.
Are you sure that it's that actually, and not your ego, that's the reason why you talk in the third person? Because let's be honest, you've been on this website for almost 11 to 12 years now. Are you saying that people would still not know who you are? Really? I mean, with all the drama you've caused, yeah, people would know you by now.
It's a lot easier to understand if you say, Onision did this, Onision did that, then I did this, I did that, when you're talking about multiple people in the situation. When you give everyone a name, it's a lot easier to keep track of.
But that's going back to that whole character thing that you were trying to do about, a month ago? 2 months ago? Where everything you did, oh no, that was character's fault. We can't blame you because character's the one that said it. It's coming from your lips. Therefore, it's you that's saying it. Therefore, your fault.
Why are you such a hypocritical, rude person? I think that's a really rude thing to say. And if you're implying that you're not hypocritical, then that's hypocritical because you're being rude too.
Actually, no. They aren't being hypocritical or rude. All they did was ask you a question. And instead of answering it and avoiding giving an answer, you turned the question around to them. Which, honestly, it would have been better if you would have just said, something other than that, instead of redirecting it to them. Because that just makes you the rude person.
Found a commentary channel that always looks like your drama fairly and looks at all sides. I don't really care. It's all like, you guys, this is all like bullshit. Like seriously. I was talking to Repzilla on Discord, and he's obviously he's telling me, like, I asked him, I was like, what is your ideal video type to make? And he said, oh, ghost hunting. And it's like, well, then why the fuck aren't you making ghost hunting videos, dude? You're doing this for money. This is all for money. Everyone's doing this for money. Nobody fucking cares. It's so stupid.
Well, I guess I'm the 1% where you're wrong in that whole statement. And I'm going to say this, thanks to somebody deleting my channel, I don't get any money. I'm making these videos, and if you guys look at my channel, it's, or at least the main focus anyway, is the gaming content. That's the most uploaded videos I have on my channel. They barely get any views. And yes, I upload the occasional Onision video or the topic video, and those are hit and miss. But for the most part, when it comes to these particular videos with Onision and the stuff that has been brought up by not just him, not by his videos, but by the people that have been associated with him over time, I'm one of those people that actually care about this kind of crap because it's wrong. And before anybody says anything, no, I didn't just do it for the money. I did it because I cared about the topic. Because I had some concerns.
Can you say hi, McKenna? Hi, I just said. You were full-time in the military before you were dishonorably discharged because you were a quitter. Dude, the haters actually released my discharge papers. Do you guys like being, like, proven wrong?
Proven wrong about what? You were discharged from the military. You claim depression, but more than likely, with the stories that you've given on your channel, you pansied out. You didn't like when people were telling you to do stuff. You didn't like when people had authority over you. So, how were people lying? Especially when another member of the military, TommyC, went on his stream with another fellow military person and went over some of your claims. Which, if you guys want, I'll leave a link in the description for that so you guys can go check it out. I know some people aren't fans of TommyC, but I would recommend watching that particular one because there is some really cool insight to what he says and what they compare it to with their experience.
But, like, do you guys like being proven wrong? Because you say I'm wrong about shit, and then I dox whatever is involved. Like, I release the documents proving you wrong. Like, do you like, thank you for that. But you guys get proven wrong again and again, and then you're like, oh, do you like this? Do you like that? Like, how many times you guys gotta be fucking proven wrong before you're like, oh yeah, we're stupid as shit, and we don't pay attention to facts?
By facts, you mean, and most likely because you've done this several times, falsified documents. Probably found on the internet or templates that you use to prove yourself to be right. Because after some of the things you've done, yeah, we're really going to believe half the documents that you post on video. And even then, you barely show anything involving the document.
Why do you still talk about people who have asked you to stop? Who asked me to stop that I still talk about?
Eugene Cooney and Shane Dawson, to name a few.
Yeah, I'm making bank, lol. Oh, real stream? God, you're such a faggot, dude. Seriously. Like, not the good faggot. You're a bad faggot. Like, you should... I cannot discuss how much of a piece of shit you are, and you're ugly as fuck.
All right, so a couple things that I want to point out. First off, with him using that word towards somebody, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would consider that homophobic with him using that word. But with him, trying to justify it, it's like, the use of the N-word, where people tried to justify using that word as well. And later on, he, tries to justify saying, I'm gay, so I'm allowed to say it. Which brings me back to my previous question again, before you guys, pull up the torches and pitchforks. I'm just trying to understand this whole situation because, once again, it's a man who is with a person identifying as a man who hasn't transitioned into a man and is still a woman. So that technically would still make him straight. Especially if they're, Another thing, which is, kind of sad, is when you don't have a rebuttal, Onision, you go for the low blows. You try to attack somebody's looks, which, come to think of it, you'd think you'd be a little bit sympathetic towards, considering you have your own defects, right? But you don't care. You think you're perfect. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You're a fucking hypocrite.
And that's what's funny about a lot of these guys is like Repsian, Realstream, all those guys, they only care about money and everybody falls for it. So they'll say anything they can to get views and that's it.
Well, here's the kicker then. if we only did or said anything for money, wouldn't that be dishonest? I mean, look at, again, I'm not making money off this channel, so what's my motivation to doing videos on you? It's not for the views, because you look at my other videos and clearly, let's say 90% of the videos that I have up here rarely, reach 10 views. And a lot of them are just Let's Play videos. So what's my angle? Personally, it's, again, because I have some concerns about what's going on in these situations. And I want to point out that with a lot of this stuff we talk about, we're not talking out of our ass. A lot of the evidence given, it comes from your channel, your Twitter, as well as the people that have been associated with you. So you can't say that we're just, talking shit when the evidence is, and for those who actually pay attention and look, is clearly on your channel.
Someone says you're into 14-year-olds, though. Yeah, prove it. I'm not at all into 14-year-olds.
Okay, so I'm going to say this because at this point it's going to be very hard to prove. At least for, let's say, if he were to go to court for it, it'd be very hard to prove that he has done anything with 14-year-olds, even though, let's face it, he was collecting photos of underage girls for his rating videos. But when it comes to it, and I'm going to say the one case with Sarah where they, met her, and I, again, ask you guys to go watch Real Stream News' stuff because he was on this so far. They met Sarah when she was 14, and now she's, 18 now? It would, I'm assuming right now, it'd be very hard to prove of whether or not he's been doing that with 14-year-olds. But I'm going to say this, and this is coming from with a lot of the evidence and the stories that have been given by just about every single woman that has come across Onision thus far, and those people that are opening up. And I'm assuming a lot of people would probably feel the same way. If he's not a pedophile, more likely, and I'm saying this because of the stories that have been given thus far, then he is a predator. Not of children, but of women. Somebody who tries to manipulate and mentally destroy these people, especially when he doesn't get his way with them.
So when people say I'm attracted to that, it's just fucking hilarious. People think they know the truth about me, and they're fucking ridiculous. Like, can you imagine being me and just having all this shit that's constantly talking about you?
Well, Onision, ultimately, we don't know you. We don't know you personally. We don't know your backstory. But overall, there has been many people that have come and go from your life who have been open, very open, to your quote-unquote abusive behavior. And when you have more than one person saying the same thing about you, and all of it being negative, then that's, that pulls up some red flags for everybody. I don't know how you don't get that.
He says he's here to spill the beans and just wants attention and not actually answer T spilling questions. What did I answer? You just came here, didn't you? Because I've spilled a lot of beans so far.
Not really. All I've been hearing is backpedaling and you blaming other people for your own problems.
This is the thing. You guys accuse me of shit so much, and I literally just dropped the facts. If you actually paid attention to this entire stream, you would know that I've spilled plenty of beans. People just talk. They don't give a shit about the truth.
And what exactly are you doing right now? All you doing is talking. We're not really given any evidence to, rebuttal anything that we're saying. And I doubt you probably ask your wife, because, let's be honest, last time you did that, or at least you guys were talking about the whole, let's say, Sarah thing, you guys couldn't keep your story straight.
People say no one likes me, and then like you guys exist, and then what do they say then? Nothing. It's just they never stop getting proven wrong.
Actually, that's not the case, because I would have to assume, let's say, 90% of the people that watch you more likely are still in their teens, brainwashed, believe everything you say, and when you are called out, they come to people's comments and either call them a rapist, a bigot, a hypocrite, and give us, or people like myself and Realstream and everybody, all these different titles and not even rebuttal the content or the stuff that we have to say. Kind of like what you do.
How are the wetlands, Greg? You guys don't even know what this is what's funny. You guys don't even know what my yard looks like. Yet you guys say it's destroyed. That's how fucking oblivious you guys are. It's so funny. This is why it's so funny being me and seeing you guys act the way you do. Oh, and Realstream, if you take this clip, I will go after you. Just so you know.
How exactly can you go after him, considering that if he's using your content transformatively, he has the right to use it? And also the whole wetlands thing, we make that, the reason we make that into a big deal is because you like to play it off as quote-unquote yard work when you destroyed property that wasn't yours, and you have video of you bulldozing and pretty much pushing trees into the swamp that is behind your property. And now Pierce County, and yes, I can say that because it is now public information, Pierce County is after your ass. And is pretty much, keeping a close eye on everything you do.
Stop stealing people's content. Okay? Thanks. Anyway, and I say stop stealing people's content, I mean you have to like transform it. It has to be totally different than originally was distributed. Otherwise it's just straight up stealing and you get shut down for a good reason.
Really? Several years ago, that didn't stop you. That didn't stop you from copyright claiming people's videos when they was transformative work. All because people, talked about your content, you didn't like what they had to say, so you decided to copyright claim, let's say, for my video, or at least my channel, about 20 plus videos. 20 plus videos that I worked hard on. And you tried to make a quick buck off of them. Yeah. Okay. You wonder why people call you hypocrite.
Greg telling lies? No, Papa. That's funny. This is what's funny. How do you know anything is a lie if you're like not there?
I think that many people have spoken out about Onision as well as his content on YouTube speak for itself. And him trying to deny everything that has been said.
And also, someone said tax evasion. Again, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And the reason you don't know what the fuck you're talking about is because you haven't seen documents. You haven't seen reports. You haven't seen jack shit.
You're right. We haven't seen, any documents to prove your innocence. But I think for the mass majority of us who, pay taxes, we know how it works. And we know what not to do. And we know that stuff like, trying to, put your divorce as was a tax off or whatever the term is. You thought that would work? You thought that putting almost every other item in your house as a write-off of your taxes would work? I know there's a term for it. I just can't remember. I'm just going to call it discounted. You try to put all these things on your taxes and you try to see if you were discounted off your taxes for it. So, and then that didn't work. And then you were fined for doing your taxes wrong. And then you blame the program for doing its job.
Was your dad found guilty in court? You guys really shouldn't talk about my dad. That's like another thing that you don't know shit about. Okay, so a child, right? A child described him in a way that a child should not know him, okay, to a therapist. Child described my father to a therapist and knew things about things they should not have known about, okay? Thank you for the $2 and stuff, guys. That's cool. But no, like, when a child of, like, I think they were 9, describes a man in detail, things that they should not know about him, and then you have multiple adults coming forward saying that, yeah, he groped me, or yeah, he did whatever, and it's all people who are connected, who have no incentive to say, like, we're talking about people who have no incentive to say these things. They all come forward and they all say this shit. You know, it's obvious to me when I know all these people. It's funny that people, like, will literally try to, like, defend my dad.
Well, no offense, but with, let's say on occasion, you fabricating information, it's questionable whether or not your dad did the things you claim him to do. I mean, when asked any proof, so far you haven't really given your proof, but only what you've had to say. I mean, you're very open to give proof about other things, like your discharge documents or the stuff about the taxes or any other things, but so far you haven't been, or at least you haven't given any actual proof or documentation that what your father did was actually true. Do you see the problem here? So, to some of us, including myself, I kind of feel that maybe perhaps your father wasn't as evil of an individual that you claim him to be. And I'm not trying to denounce or say that, abuse isn't real. I'm not trying to say that. But in this particular case, I feel that Onision may be fabricating information. And a possible innocent man who is being slandered on the internet by his own son is very disgusting. But who knows? I could be wrong. But till that proof is, presented, then I have to go by, so far I can't really go by Onision's own word.
I cannot emphasize enough how fucking dumb. Like, I released a video that is like this girl saying, hey, I wasn't a victim of whatever. And everyone gaslit the fuck out of her. And I'm like confused because they're saying that this person is the victim. And the victim says, you guys are wrong. They did the same thing to Kai. So Kai, when Kai started dating me, everyone treated Kai like a victim, right? AKA Lanybot. So they treat Lanybot like they're a victim, right? Until Lanybot straight up says, no, I love this guy and you guys are full of shit. I'm paraphrasing. So now people turned it into, oh, Kai's a piece of shit too. And now let's figure out how we can make Kai look like shit.
You're acting as if we're all these vindictive assholes that are just going to do this out of spite because, oh, we don't like Onision. Oh, we don't like his position and some of the stuff that he does. So we're going to go attack his spouse and make shit up. No. The evidence shown thus far, it seems like, one, you have, to some people, brainwashed your wife, and now you guys, with, let's say, Sarah being at the age of 14, in a sense, groomed her to want to be part of a relationship with you guys. And it doesn't help the fact that when you guys were trying to address this, or at the very least, you guys can't keep your story straight at all. Where she goes off saying, oh, I've never been naked in front of Sarah. And then you go off saying, oh, my spouse totally did that. Do you see why we have a problem? And what makes it worse is the video that you posted on your channel. It's like it to me and to many other people, it's like one of those videos where a person is kind of like held at gunpoint and they have to read a script. You know, one of those hostage videos. That's what it feels like. Because that didn't seem genuine at all.
Anyway, so now Kai's a piece of shit to the internet because Kai defended me. And that's the thing. Like, I fear for some of my friends because some of my friends defend me on Twitter and they immediately become the enemy too. And they immediately become piece of shit. And everybody who is like the most moralist, and I say moralist as in they're regularly committing crimes or they're otherwise neglecting their children or they're doing other horrible things. These fucking pieces of shit, or they're cheating on their boyfriend or whatever. These pieces of shit, they'll say things because I did not want their toxic ass in my life. They'll start saying shit and suddenly they're the heroes. And it's weird to me because I know that the people in my life are primo human beings. You know, like these are the people I want to be around. Like Billy the Fridge is a really nice guy. I haven't had any problem with Billy the Fridge so far. And I think that's an incredible thing. I was talking about it. I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. But, sorry, I got to follow this Twitter real quick. Welcome, Lady Helix, again. And I will follow your Twitter right now to the person who super chatted me. But Billy the Fridge and I and other guys are sitting around the table and they're like, yeah, whatever happened to Seer? And, you know, acting like what happened to Seer was somehow valid. Like I was somehow in some way evil. And I was just like, guys, if I'm so fucking evil, right? Why is our friendship working out? Yet it didn't work out with Seer. And I thought that was a really cool thing to say. That was a really good point. I'm so smart. No, but like Billy the Fridge had to think about it and the other guys had to think about it. I am not the maniac that Seer has described me to be and other people have described me to be. And these people are looking at me and they're like, oh my God, the internet is actually full of shit because this person's sitting across the table from me being totally chill, being totally awesome. So what the fuck do you do at that point? And where are all the haters? I haven't seen that many haters. If Billy smoked weed, though, you wouldn't be cool. So cool, huh? I was on Drunken Peasants, dude. People were smoking weed in front of me.
That's true, but you didn't have the balls to tell them to get chained up in your basement for smoking weed, now did you?
Sorry. I don't make deals with bitches.
It was very awkward, really, because I was very rude to Sarah for a long time. And once Sarah turned 18, it was like, all right, I can be nice to you now. I'm sorry for calling you a cunt so many times. And I did that because I didn't want this drama that we have now. But, you know, what's funny is, like, even though I was totally appropriate and I did everything right, well, I actually did it a little bit too right. I was mean to her. So I was the opposite of grooming.
So you psychologically abused her and treated her like garbage. I'm sorry, but how is that any better?
But even though we did all this shit, we're still, it's like we didn't do anything right. You know, you play the rules. Nice guys finish last, right? Not that I would want to do anything anyway, because it's fucking not in my palate. It's not something I want.
Yes, because as you've shown, you lack a shred of common decency within you, you know, to treat people with respect.
How does being cruel to Sarah make you look good? No, it doesn't make me look good. I was very mean to Sarah. I was very mean to Sarah. I didn't so much insult, like, you know, anything that would be like crippling. But like when we played video games and shit, I'd talk about how dumb she is. And it was just, I was mean. I feel really bad about that. He's not deleting comments. They just aren't posting. Most of my haters are Americans. You guys know that, right? Most of my haters are fucking these shitty redneck motherfucking.
I'm sorry, Onision, but I'm pretty sure that if the people who were criticizing you, not hating on you, were all just a bunch of dumb redneck, I'm assuming that you think they're stupid and violent too, and just garbage people. I'm pretty sure some of them who wouldn't give a fuck about your well-being probably wouldn't just stop with comments. And since you've made your your position public, or let's be honest here, your location public, so to speak, yeah, that'd be a very scary thought, and I'd probably, be looking behind myself every 3 seconds. By the way, everybody, don't construe that as a threat, because it's not. I just want you guys to understand that we're not as dumb as he believes everybody is. We're not.
Why were you mean to Sarah when she was younger? Because I didn't want her to like me.
What the fuck?
Like, that's exactly what you do when you don't want someone to like you, is you're mean to them.
I guess that would make sense for an unfeeling, unemotional jackass like yourself. No. I'm sorry, but if you don't want somebody to like you, you convince them. You tell them, hey, I'm not interested. You do whatever you can, and you do whatever it takes, and not go to the extreme and start mentally abusing somebody. Yeah, I'm calling it mental abuse, because that's exactly what he did. So, yeah. And I say that because I've had people who had to deal with mental abuse.
Okay, so you were verbally and mentally abusive towards an underage minor.
Yes! Yes!
You guys are fucking stupid. Okay, so so first you say I'm grooming people, right? But but I go and I say, actually what happened was I was very mean to them. So now you're saying I'm fucking a horrible abuser.
Well, with the way you describe it, yeah, that's practically what it sounds like. I mean, psychological abuse, also referred to as psychological violence, emotional abuse, or mental abuse, is a form of abuse, characterized by a person subjecting or exposing another person to behavior that may result in psychological trauma, including anxiety, chronic depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, some of you are probably wondering, okay, what are some of the signs? Well, some of them include, and if you think about some of the stuff that Onision's done to Sarah, yelling, swearing, name-calling, or insults, mocking, threats or intimidation, ignoring and excluding, isolating, humiliating, and denial of the abuse and blaming of the victim. Now, with the videos itself, we already have the name-calling and insulting and mocking. Ignoring and excluding, I believe that was seen once or twice. Humiliation, yes, in fact, he did that to several other people as well. And then denial of the abuse. What is he doing right here?
You can be nice without abusing her. Right. Here's the thing, though. If somebody... I don't think you can.
No, I think myself and many others can say, yes, you probably could without the abuse.
Well, let's agree to disagree. Okay? If somebody... Because this girl is an awesome human being. She's really great. She deserves better, than me calling her names. Mean names. But at the same time, if you're not mean to somebody and they're already like a fan of you or whatever, they're not going to get the message unless you're mean.
I'm sorry, but from that logic, I think parts of my brain just shut down. So, no. No, 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 no. How can you justify abuse? How can you... I'm at a loss right now. I really am. If you tell somebody your stance on something and not be an asshole, then more than likely you're going to get the results you want. Right now, I just feel like you're trying to make excuses for being a dickhead to a teenager. And more likely, because you feel that you're the greatest person, more likely you were having a power trip when she is around. And because she's a teenager and she is under you, you thought, let me get the best of her. Let me just, do whatever I want because I can, because it's my house. I mean, hell, you do that with every other woman that's been, passed through your doors. So, I guess Sarah was no exception, huh? I guess Sarah was, the same to, or at least compared to every other person that has entered your home. Wow. Okay.
You're obviously suffering from narcissism. Thanks, doctor. Why do you guys all think you're doctors?
That's funny. Something like that I would ask you.
Oklahoma. Someone said you need professional help. You can still redeem yourself. Won't be easy. It's not too late. By the way, pedophiles are lame, especially for an onion. See, you started out like seeming like you gave a shit, and then you turned into a fucking 12-year-old. So, fuck you.
Well, it just goes to show how much you really gave a shit about the first part of that comment, now does it? Because with that one little bit, you decide, oh, you know what? That's my excuse for, not even considering anything any of these people say.
Someone said you're using bullying Sarah as a scapegoat for having sexual dynamic. See, here's the thing. You don't know that. And you're using people who are like fucking people I kicked out of my life who weren't even ever my friend or whatever. You should not. You should get proof, okay? Get proof of what you're saying, because right now you have Sarah saying you're full of shit, you're having Kai saying you're full of shit, and you're having me saying you're full of shit, all the three people, and what you guys do is you go and gaslight Sarah, and you act like Sarah's now a fucking evil piece of shit because she doesn't agree with you.
Actually, Onision, we have one person who's probably being fed information on what to tell people, and we have two people that obviously can't get their story straight. Whereas there is tweets, videos, as well as several people who spoke with Sarah and others who were associated with Sarah who know a little bit of what was going on when they were still involved with you. So I'm pretty sure that amount of evidence trumps whatever you have. Especially at this point, the only thing we can trust is an outside source, considering, well, you can't keep your story straight. And you like to fabricate information, so...
Have you ever thought that maybe Sarah's actually this great person that you guys described, and you're shitty because you're now trying to make this great person that you previously described as great, like they're a piece of shit and a liar? You guys are shitty. You don't give evidence against Ayala, her allegations. I have the fucking person she's talking about saying she's full of shit.
Look, no offense to Sarah, but how do we know what she's actually saying is the truth? Right now she's under your care with your spouse. So, how exactly do we know that that's the actual truth that she speaks? We don't. To be perfectly honest, we don't. But, as we've stated several times, and it's something that you don't get, there's a lot against you when it comes to tweets, when it comes to videos, as well as several people that are speaking out. The video itself that you posted on your channel with Sarah talking about this just looks like it was scripted, and it's uncomfortable to watch.
3 witnesses, all right? 3 witnesses, okay? If you have 3 witnesses of something, all people who know way more than Ayala about what happened, saying that Ayala's full of shit, and that's including the alleged victim, how do you not see how full of shit Ayala is? That's what I think's crazy. And you guys say, oh, well, she's groomed or whatever. But that's just gaslighting her. That's just taking this victim and you're treating her like she's a dumb person who can't think for herself, and she's an adult.
Onision, we don't think she's dumb. And you're just putting words in our mouths. But I'm going to say this. If there's actual abuse in your household, then more likely she's scared and will end up doing whatever you say because she's worried about the ramifications that you will put on her. So she does whatever she has to keep herself safe.
If I wanted to brainwash somebody, I would suck up to them and I'd say, join my cult and all that shit. If I wanted to like really get them, I would be the nicest guy to them, and I would do everything I could to make them obsess over me. But instead, I acted like a dickish guy at school that's secretly gay and doesn't want to come out as gay, you know.
You do realize that by constantly being mean to Sarah, they expect that kind of behavior from you day in and day out. And the rare occasions where you're actually nice, they do whatever it takes within their power. Even doing things that are questionable to garner that attention because they want positive reinforcement. There's a term for it. I can't remember exactly what it is this second, but you have to understand that there is some ramification for being a complete, disgusting human being towards another individual constantly, and then all of a sudden acting nice, and then them wanting that attention from you. Or at the very least wanting that positive reinforcement.
Brainwash definition, thank you for this. Brainwash definition, pressurize someone into adopting radically different beliefs by using systematic and also forcible means.
So, does that mean your spouse would be the perfect example for that?
How do I do that? How does one systematically and often forcible... Oh, you're talking about tying someone in a chair and like putting on screens, like TVs, like, you will obey me. Yeah. Sarah's young and naive and impressionable. You need to stop talking down to Sarah. Sarah's a very smart girl. She's smarter than fucking Ayala. Ayala's a fucking idiot. Seriously. My God. You're a married dad of 2 in his 30s. Grow up. Tell that to like Rush Limbaugh. Tell that to Donald Trump. You guys, we are who we are. You got to stop acting like age equates to who you are. Okay?
Well, here's the thing. And this is coming from a 27-year-old. I kind of agree with that. If you are a certain age, you have to go by certain standards. You have to set an example for other people. For the next people to, step up. Sure, on occasion, I'll play video games, but that's, because this is mostly gaming channel. But at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way, like you, to, bring random girls into my household, mentally abuse my spouse, make them think that there's something that, well, they have, or make them believe that they have no idea who they are, and treat people like shit when they're in the same household as me. Because I didn't get my way.
Jesus fucking Christ, you're so out of touch. Well, Kaylee, you're on somebody's live stream who you hate. You're a useless cunt. Like, seriously. Think about where you are right now, okay? You are spending your time on the live stream of someone you hate. What a fucking waste of human life. And you know what? Most everyone in the world agrees with me.
Nope, just the people that believe every word you say and treat you like some kind of god, I guess. But the rest of the world, no, they despise you. They're just waiting for the moment where your channels get shut down. And more likely, I have a feeling that's going to happen pretty soon. And from what I hear, you have a lot of angry parents who are now contacting the police because you shared photos of their underage kids. So, yeah.
You guys are so fucking stupid. It blows my mind. And we all have to see this every day. We see these fucking inbred assholes who are just keyboard worrying the fuck out of their shit because some dumb bitch is across the country talking shit about us for views, and she got her views, and everybody fucking falls for it because they can't see the fact that this person's just getting profit off of it. Like, the literal alleged victim says that you guys are full of shit, and yet they keep going. How fucking brain dead do you have to be to say, oh, this person victimizes people? And you have one example of an actual alleged victim, and that alleged victim straight up says, I'm paraphrasing, y'all are fucking stupid.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell.
Oh, someone said thanks for playing Repsian's tuition. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. These people who have made videos about me, like Repsian literally had his girlfriend tweet me a picture going, thanks for buying my lingerie or whatever. And Repsian thanked me for paying his tuition. All these fuckers care about is money.
I just love the fact that you get all offended when people, talk about you and you claim, oh, you don't know me, so you can't talk about me. But you're going and talking about people as if you know exactly who they are. You don't know them. And as far as you know, or as you don't know, the money isn't the only thing that they're doing the videos for. Sure, it's an added incentive to it, but at the same time, that's not the main focus. Yes, you're a garbage human, and people despise you, and you're an easy target. I'm going to be honest there. Because you keep fucking up. But you can't blame us for that. You can only blame yourself. Because you keep screwing up, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. To the point where it's hilarious. To the point where it is both hilarious and pathetic. And we don't feel sorry for you when you finally go under.
Don't you think it's fucking hilarious how duped you guys are? Like, you don't get it. If you think any of these people have even the slightest bit of credibility, try to take away all incentive for them to say this, other than just backbone, moral integrity. Like, why are all these people monetizing their content? Why are all these people posting their content with ads running, using my name in the title? Did they have to use my name in the title? No. Did they know it would get them views? Absolutely.
So let me get this straight. You can make videos about people using their names in the title as well. Like Eugene Cooney or Shane Dawson. Make money off of you trying to destroy their good name. But when people use your name in the title and discuss your behavior, you say, oh no, I'm off limits. You can't talk about me. What's the definition of being a hypocrite again? Or, better yet, hypocrisy? Let me tell you. The practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. You know, Nissan, you keep trying to prove to us that you're not a narcissist or a hypocrite, but it constantly backfires when you say stupid crap like this.
There you are. There's proof of you manipulating young. We need 2 youngs up in here. It's not just 1 young. You get 2 youngs. Why don't you just fucking say the age, you dipshit? What's the age? There's proof of you manipulating young women for almost a decade now. Who? Are you talking about like the 20-year-olds I dated? What the fuck are you talking about?
I think they're discussing the girls you had send photos to you for your rating videos.
Shit. Someone said, am I looking forward to Repsian's book review? Repsian only cares about money, guys. I'm glad that you're falling for it. It's so fucking great seeing you guys hail someone as a hero when really they're just using you.
Question, considering that you constantly want people to give you proof and examples, can you give us an example of how Mr. Repsion has been using people? Because so far he's been, to be perfectly honest, because I watched a little bit of his content, genuine with his concerns about a lot of the stuff that's been going on. And again, he may have that extra incentive to, make money from your videos, but for the most part, I'm going to say this. It seems like he's doing far better for himself than you will ever do. At the very least, he went to college and is doing something that he enjoys, rather than, staying at home, doing YouTube videos, and begging teenagers for money. And with that, I think I'm going to start closing it, because this has already gone to what I thought was going to be a quick video and have like snippets of something turned into an hour-long video. So I do apologize for that. But it has been a very long response to a lot of the stuff that he's been saying. Look, here's my thoughts on Onision. When it comes to the allegations of him being a pedophile, I would have to say there's more evidence. And I kind of commented on this on Real Stream News' recent live stream. Or at least I made the statement that, and especially this is coming from what we've heard from other people, as well as looked at his videos, as well as tweets and messages. If he's not a pedophile, then he sure as hell is a predator of women. He's been constantly contacting women, trying to get them to come into his household. When he wants a certain type of person, they're like a fucking doll to him. He pretty much dresses them up, tells them, oh, you're this certain way. There was a point where apparently Kai, when this individual was still Laney, was being starved to death by Onision. And it's just very disturbing. With a lot of this stuff, and I know some people are probably thinking I'm talking out of my ass, but I'm only going by information that is given through Onision's channel, the tweets, as well as information given by third party, which, to be perfectly honest, with so many people talking against him, I trust the third party more than I do Onision, his spouse, and unfortunately, Sarah. So, what are your thoughts? I would love to hear it. And at some point, I'm going to try to do more of these videos. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please, or at the very least, if you have any thoughts, leave in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you again for watching. This is Rob of Novakast Studios signing off. Have a good one, and take care.